Chapter 4. The Council Reels. Across the Milky Way, chaos erupted. Council chambers flickered with emergency lights as diplomats shouted over one another, each scrambling to understand how a quarantined, supposedly primitive system had just overridden every communication network in existence. Screens replayed Hawthorne's frozen image, calm, composed, the red, white, and blue flag hanging behind him. His words echoed across a trillion minds. He took over every comm system in the Milky Way. This is impossible. Who granted him planetary transmission authority? No one. They hacked everything. There had never been a breach like this. Not in 10,000 years of recorded history. No species, no empire, no AI had ever hijacked all communications simultaneously. Protocol books were opened, flipped through, slammed shut. There was no protocol for this. As the shock sank in, the council's anger surged. A dozen representatives tried opening direct channels to Saul. The channels connected, only to display a simple three-word message: Union Hall available. Nothing more. Infuriated, the council attempted to reassert dominance the only way they understood: military escalation. Recall every available armada. We will show these humans they cannot dictate council procedure. But as orders flew across subspace, a strange pattern emerged. The returning fleets did not necessarily want to return. Some crews dragged their feet, some quietly requested extended observation time. Some claimed engine recalibration delays. Admiral Keth had set the tone. He and his landing team returned to the fleet after their visit to Argus Station. Changed. They had toured markets full of alien cuisines. They had spoken to human engineers who explained starship mathematics like chatting about the weather. Some crew had wandered to communal hollow lounges, enjoyed food, music, and art. And many had seen Morgan Hale. No, she wasn't special by human standards, but to Keth and his crew, unused to humans entirely, let alone humans spoken of as primitive, she was extraordinary, commanding, unafraid, sharp-tongued, and grounded. "It does something to you," one of Keth's officers whispered to a colleague, "being treated like a tourist instead of an invader." Back aboard his flagship, Keth watched his fleet drifting quietly in Sol orbit. No combat stance, no hostility. Ships that had arrived for war were now visiting. And every hour that passed, more council fleets arrived. And every hour, fewer of them wanted to leave. For a long time after Hawthorne's face vanished from every screen in the galaxy, no one spoke. Then everyone did. Council chambers exploded into noise. Translators stuttered to keep up as 100 languages crashed together in a storm of outrage, disbelief, and raw fear. "He can't do that. That system was quarantined. My fellow citizens of the Milky Way, who does he think he is? Did you see the flag, that old Terran banner?" In the central rotunda of the Galactic Council, the holographic starfield above the floor flickered uneasily. Normally it was a static, comforting map of their managed galaxy. Now it replayed sections of Hawthorne's speech. "We watched you argue, negotiate, explore. We call it the Purge. Union Hall is live." Each phrase hit some delegates like accusation, others like warning, a few like hope. On the uppermost ring, in a private gallery set back from the main floor, Saren Talek stood with his hands folded behind his back and watched the chaos he had helped build wobble on its foundations. He was tall and spare, with slate-gray skin threaded by faint, opalescent lines that shifted and dimmed with his mood. His people's eyes were slightly larger than human, with horizontal pupils and a subtle, reflective sheen. Age had softened the lines of his face, but not the sharpness of his gaze. He had been in the chamber the day Earth was declared lost. He had helped write the protocol that consigned Saul to a footnote. "How long has he been listening to us?" a representative hissed below. "He quoted a proverb from a species that joined 50 years ago." Centuries, another answered bitterly. They were watching us while we congratulated ourselves on our stability. The presiding chair's voice finally cut through. Order! We have a direct transmission from Admiral Vor Keth on station at Sol. Put him through. The starfield collapsed into the image of Keth's bridge. He looked older than his file, too. Exhaustion had a way of doing that, and so did having your entire career invalidated by one speech. Admiral, the chair said, you are live to the full council. Counselors, Keth said, Sol's system is fully inhabited. Human infrastructure is beyond our current classifications. Our weapons have had negligible effect. You engage them? Someone snapped. Keth's jaw flexed. We followed established quarantine enforcement procedure. He paused. They did not respond with force. They responded with administrative complaints and repair invoices. The chamber rippled with confusion. A few delegates checked their translators as if they had misheard. Talik's pupils narrowed. Describe the humans, the chair said. Not their machines. Them. Keth hesitated. His gaze shifted, as if looking through the camera towards something just out of frame. They are not what our archives depict, he said finally. They are unafraid, busy, focused on something larger than us. He drew a breath. Their president's speech was not a bluff. They have been watching us from behind the inverted horizon for centuries. The purge is real. Their claim about vanished regions beyond the rim matches scattered anomalies in our own star surveys. Murmurs, some skeptical, some horrified. And their intentions? Talik asked, his voice carrying clearly despite the height. Keth met his eyes through the projection. They did not ask for our surrender, Keth said. They are asking for our help. With what? A delegate scoffed. Their unauthorized network? Their violation of our comm grid? With preventing the galaxy from being erased, Keth replied. The words hung in the air. On his bridge, Keth continued, they are opening something called Union Hall to anyone with access. Citizens, soldiers, merchants, children. It will bypass council authority entirely. There it was, the real wound. The one that mattered more to some of them than any existential threat. They cannot set policy for the galaxy, a delegate snarled. We do. We haven't even faced the threat yet, another said, voice tight. If this purge is what they say, we need centralized response, not decentralized chaos. Talik's fingers curled once, briefly, behind his back. And your recommendation, Admiral? The chair asked. Keth was silent for a moment. Attempting to cow them with force has failed, he said. Continuing to do so will make us look childish and waste time we may not have. My recommendation is that we treat them as equals. Listen, evaluate, participate in this Union Hall, and prepare. The chamber exploded again. Participate? You want us to legitimize this human president? Equal? They were barely out of their gravity well when we quarantined them. Talik let the noise wash over him. Whatever else Keth was, he was not a coward. He could have lied, softened the blow, protected his own career. He had told the truth instead. Talik turned and stepped back into the shadowed corridor behind the gallery. His personal study was only a short glide along the curved passage, a room filled with old things, relics of treaties, stylized maps of campaigns that no longer mattered, and a single transparent wall looking out on the opalescent clouds of the Council world's upper atmosphere. He sat at his desk and brought up a blank document, the annihilation of communication order that some of his colleagues wanted to draft would be pointless. You could not censor something already inside every home. You could not unring Hawthorne's bell. So the question was not how to remove the humans from the conversation. The question was what to do about them now that they had stepped onto the stage, and whether to let them live long enough to change it. He stared at the empty page. Then slowly he pushed it aside and opened a different interface, the one for Union Hall. He hesitated for a long time, finger hovering over the confirm glyph. Across the galaxy, others were making the same decision. He exhaled and connected. In Sol orbit, the sky grew crowded. New fleets arrived every day, slipping into real space on flares of drive light and taking up uneasy stations around Earth's sun. Official communiques described them as containment reinforcements. Dispatches called them stabilization assets. Gossip in Union Hall labeled them something else entirely: the audience. On Argus Station, Morgan Hale watched the tactical overlays from her office and pinched the bridge of her nose. "Docking cues?" she asked. "Backed up to lunar orbit," her assistant replied. "We've added 3 temporary waypoints and a holding pattern. And the hydroponics wing reports some of the new ships are using too much active scan. It's making the lettuce grumpy." "The lettuce is not allowed to be grumpy," Morgan said. "Grumpy lettuce turns bitter, and then the salad bar complains, and then I have to file agricultural mood reports." Her assistant wisely did not laugh. "And the visitors?" Morgan asked. He glanced at his slate. "Mixture of inspection delegations, cultural observers, and personnel claiming they were ordered to disembark for diplomacy training." He paused. "Also, someone's already selling knockoff 'My fellow citizens of the Milky Way galaxy' mugs." Morgan covered her face with one hand. "Of course they are." She swiped through incoming dispatches. A council ship wanted priority docking to assert jurisdiction. A second complained their crew had returned from their last visit with unauthorized souvenirs and unreasonable enthusiasm. A third simply requested access to Argus's coffee bar. The galaxy's governments wanted control. Its people just wanted to visit. She toggled her comm. "Argus Dockmaster to all vessels in Sol orbit," she said. "Reminder, you are guests. You will follow our approach protocols. You will not fire weapons. You will not run active scans at power levels that agitate my lettuce. You will be respectful to staff and civilians. In return, you will receive hot meals, safe beds, and the best view in the galaxy. Violators will be billed." Her assistant tilted his head. "Do you think they'll listen?" "No," Morgan said, "but they'll learn." She let the comm drop and looked out the window at the growing glitter of ships. The galaxy had finally come to their doorstep. Now the question was whether it would knock or rattle the hinges.